the day of the week you were born, number of moles that you had on your arm. You didn't even know the size of my shoe. You were such a waste of tears. It's hard to hold your hand when it's wrapped around my throat that you know I'll choke. Still have the brown bear and it brings me to joy. There's a little reminder when I look at that toy. When we rode those teacups beside the midway, I find the clue and I was right as the day. Goodbye lasted so long, I wish this moment would last 4 years. Just 1 week later, I'm writing this song. Goodbye lasted so long, I wish this moment would last 4 years. Just 1 week later, I'm writing this song. You were such a waste of tears. It's hard to hold your hand when it's wrapped around my throat that you know I'll choke. You were such a waste of tears. It's hard to hold your hand when it's wrapped around my throat that you know I'll choke. sky is blue. What is happening to you? Don't you know you gotta grow? Up is the only way to go. Building on a foundation, not made of earth and stone. It's gonna be here forever, so I'm building a home. Foundation beneath my feet. Foundation, this can't be me. Foundation, stretching to the sky. Foundation, you can answer why. Living my life begins to unlock. Live on a steady, solid rock. Giving him all I have and some more. Watching as he opens the door. Give my life to others, taking the chance to be bold. Building on a foundation, it's made of solid gold. Foundation beneath my feet. Foundation can't be beat. Foundation stretching to the sky. Foundation, you can answer why. Foundation beneath my feet. Foundation, this can't be me. Foundation, stretching to the sky. Foundation, you can answer why. Foundation. 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 Foundation.
Alright, that was a triumphant G chord, apparently, by Dave. We should probably introduce ourselves and what we're doing here. Most bands are simply content to do stuff like liner notes, but we wanted to save paper, i.e. we were too cheap to double-sided print, so we didn't have any liner notes. So these are our virtual liner notes. I'm Adam, I'm the drummer, and I also did the engineering for the majority of this project. All the tracks that were recorded at Plaid Studios, I engineered and I mastered the entire project.
My name's Mike. I play bass and some vocals, and I do some writing. That's about it.
My name's David Andrew. Not one name though. Same person though. Play guitar. I sang. Wrote a bunch of songs and produced this album too. So.
Alright, let's get down to it then. So the first track on this is Today's Creed. Now,
Yeah, I recall that I had the first verse, and I think I had most of the music except for the solo when I first brought it to Adam. This was before Mike even joined the band. And I wrote it in such a way that I wanted the lyrics, both of the lead and kind of the backing vocals, to connect. So the lead parts should, they should read through fine on their own. Backing vocals should read through fine on their own, but it also makes sense to read it as a whole. That's how I kind of wanted to write it. Not sure if it was successful.
yeah, it was a whole call and response kind of echo type thing.
But Adam wrote the rest of the song and the bridge part, which is not on the album.
Yeah, we this song has undergone some transitions. Originally it had a spoken bridge part, and I just guess I wasn't black enough to pull it off.
We really need James Brown or
Yeah,
something like that.
it was a
Black
really good
preacher.
James Brown part, except we found out that James Brown was busy that week, so he couldn't
We
do
could
it.
get him into the studio. Yes.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
And who knows, maybe it'll be on our next album, maybe not. Next one up is Commercial Air Disaster, and I don't. It's funny saying this being an improv track and all, but it was real spontaneous.
Basically, with all of our improv tracks, after we come out of the studio and record them, we basically just play them back to ourselves, sit on the couches here in the basement, and just basically throw out the first title to what we think would be appropriate for that specific song. And I guess this was just something that I sort of came up with, and I think it worked out all right. Don't ever ask us to play this at a show, because we probably don't even remember how to play it now.
I can probably still play the main riff, mind you. But yeah, this one was recorded in the Alchemy Studios, so we have Jeff to thank for this one as far as the sound goes.
Yeah, big thanks to Jeff. He's got a nice studio over there, so if you're ever in Calgary and want to record some stuff, give him a call, and he'll set you up nice. I remember that was an interesting night. We did all of our improv tracks, which on this are tracks 2, track 5, 6, and 8. Those 4 are all improvs, and we're all recorded in one night at Alchemy. Jeff kind of looked at us as if we were crazy when we told him that, oh, just set up the stuff and we're just going to play, and we're going to do it all in one take.
Apparently that doesn't happen too often.
No, it's something that you don't usually see in the world of professional music. Usually everyone does it track at a time. All the stuff we did at Plaid Studios was done at a track at a time, but that was just mostly due to equipment limitations.
Otherwise, we probably would have done it live.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah, I think we recorded 6 or 7 that night. It was a Sunday night. Everyone was tired. We didn't have a lot of inspiration to go on, but I think we still managed fairly well.
It came out alright,
Yeah, and
all things considered.
there was one that we cut completely.
Oh yeah, there was one that was completely bad.
There was a few, wasn't there? Oh no, there wasn't. Just that one.
No, just one that we didn't even let him master it or mix it or anything.
Oh yeah, there was one that didn't even make it on the
blues
CD we
at
took
G
out
sharp
there.
or whatever.
Anyway.
Oh yes, yes, blues at G sharp. We will never ever do a blues at
Yeah.
G sharp again.
Or A minor, is it?
Oh, that's brutal.
Oh.
The next one up is End of the Day, and
Oh.
just a real simple track. I think I tried to figure out the chords as Adam was singing it the best he could, and just a real simple song, guitar and bass and vocals, and of course we have Whitesy Hellard to thank for that one for singing that one.
Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite tracks, and that's something for a drummer to say that his favorite track is one on which there's no drums.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, I wrote this actually. This is actually from. Wow, I guess this would have been. No, it wasn't this song, but there was. This song is probably almost 2 years old now. I wrote it late one night, and I just pretty much jotted the whole entire thing down, and just kind of stream of consciousness jotted it down, and then looked at it and went, "This has to be an amazing song." And some of my songs come together like that. Usually the good ones. The bad ones come together, and I try to build a chorus and then a verse and something else. But yeah, we were really lucky to find Wiebe Heller, who did the lead vocal on this, because it just has an amazing vocal part, and I don't think any of us could have done justice to it.
It was a song that kind of needed a female's touch to it, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, more of a soprano or tenor type thing, not the half an octave range that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it also lets you know that we have like a softer side and stuff like that, and we're vulnerable and all that sort of things that modern men are supposed to be, I guess.
Weird.
Or
that-
not be.
Or
Or not be. Oh, darn. We revealed too much about ourselves.
Which brings me to the next track.
Ooh!
The next track, it's the title track, A Tale, but the full title is A Tale of the Coming Together and Murder of My Heart in the Golden State. I want to thank Trevor big time for helping me write this song. This is a song that was basically written after a little time in California that was really stretching and growing, and like it was just a really hard time for me, and it basically just showed me how sinister some people can be towards you, and just how real people can seem sometimes, and how fake they can be at other times. And it was just kind of a song that was wrote maybe more out of frustration, but now I play it and sing that song, and I just look back and I just have fond memories, and I realize that I've grown quite a lot as a person over the past year, and it's a good thing, I suppose. I don't know, I guess I'm thankful for Dave and Adam that they kind of took it and ran with it, and they're like, oh yeah, we should do this and this and this, and
Yeah.
I don't know, it turned into a really good song.
Yeah, it was one of those where you just brought in the words and the chords, and we could pretty much go at it, although I think you had a bit in mind for the guitar, and happy with how it turned out anyway. I
Yeah,
don't think I
for
played it
sure.
exactly, but
No, but it was, it was something that needed to be changed anyways.
Yeah, there you go.
right.
Moral of the story, join a band, and your song could be the title track.
That's
yeah,
right.
it can
Who
really
knows?
really form itself in a group context, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see, up next is Grand Prix, and I don't know, we were having a hard time during our naming session coming up with names that didn't revolve around traveling. So track number 8 used to be named, I think, Road Trip, but we decided that we had too many that were talking about trips and moving, and A Tale was about a trip down to California anyways, so we decided we didn't want to be the listen to it in the bus on the way
We
down
didn't
to
want
the
to be
show
that band.
Yeah. So but we decided Grand Prix was a good one. It was this is one that starts off, and near the end it gets pretty fast and pretty crazy, and basically
Although you won't hear that on the album, probably.
You won't?
No, I think we cut out kind of the end half of it.
Oh yes, this is fun. Some of these are edited. So
But yeah, let me.
Grand Prix used to be what, 8 or 9 minutes long?
No, it's about 6 minutes. This
On
one,
the album it's cut down to 5, I think.
it
4 or
was-
something, or 5 something.
it was one of the less spontaneous ones because I kind of came in with the idea of having a song
You
revolving.
came in with the idea?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I don't really remember what this song sounds like right now. So.
Around having 2 chords whereby I would play through it as if they were key changes. So, for that reason, it might sound a bit jazzy. I personally think it sounds like kind of a race car game. That's why I decided it should be called Grand Prix.
Yeah, so if there's any software developers out there that want a lead title track and you're interested in the rights, give us a call.
But yeah, I really had to coax the guys into putting this one on the album. So yeah, you either have me to thank or hold me responsible.
You probably really either like it or you really hate it, so
Yeah.
it just really depends on your taste. But
Which brings us to Autumn Moonlight, and
My second favorite track.
yeah, Jeff said, why don't we just go ahead and do a delay type thing again? Grand Prix was also one we have Jeff to thank for. But yeah, Autumn Moonlight was, let's just put on delay on the guitar and do a delay song, and came out a real U2-like composition.
Yeah, I remember this one. It was, I really like this one. In fact, when we left the studio that day, I was saying, this isn't going on the album, we're going to work this up and turn it into a song. And then we realized that we had so many improv ideas and so much stuff that we could have played 15 songs like this and made one of them into a song. So I said, you know what, this is so good that I don't want to deny it from the fans and keep it back. Let's just put it out on the album. And I think it's, it doesn't have any words, but it feels really searching and really soulful. And you're sitting there and, I don't know, if you could really make a guitar cry, I think Andrew did it on this one.
it's pretty much one of those songs that you should like put on and just like stick on repeat or something before you fall asleep.
Yeah.
And just
Oh,
like
yeah.
fall asleep to it or whatever. That's kind of what I think
Oh, that
of
would be
whenever I
amazing.
hear it. Just like lying on your floor, like
Just don't use it to
Chilling.
wake up on your morning.
no,
on your morning because it won't work.
But yeah, this is our gift to you, pretty much. Then this song.
Ooh, Foundation. Foundation was one that actually was lots of fun. It was one that I wrote. I think Dave did a few of the lyrics and most of the music. I came to him with some lyrics and said, I have this idea. And what you're hearing on the album is Foundation, but it's Foundation from about 8 months ago. And
Yeah.
since then, we've completely revamped the tune. So this one's kind of on there a little for nostalgia's sake. The new one's a little funkier, believe it or not. The old one's still fairly funky. But you take a look at it and it sounds pretty interesting. And it's kind of a fairly rockish tune. Talks about what are you based on and what's your foundation. What do you have to stand on?
Yeah, Foundation ranks fairly high on my list. Really like performing it live and stuff. Don't know if it works as an opening track live so much. We tried it, but yeah, it came out of jamming more than anything. Adam and I, again, before Mike joined the band, had a lot of time to just jam and songwrite, and so it was based on nothing more than one chord to start with, pretty much. And it just evolved and evolved and evolved, and it's
still evolving.
exactly
Yes, still.
still different than it is now. But yeah, Adam came up with the words probably just to that one chord, believe it or not. So
Yeah, it's just really difficult, I find, as a band for us to put stuff out and release stuff out because everyone always thinks that a CD is always a final project. And there's nothing that's ever final for us. We're still tweaking all of these and we're still working on all of these. But I guess there comes a time where you have to make a decision where you go, okay, either the CD never gets released or we put it out now. And failures and all. So we said, well, let's give the fans something to listen to, even if it's not exactly where we want to be with the music.
yeah, it still sounds pretty rocking in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's still a great song.
Mhm.
It's just not an amazing song yet.
Yeah.
But listen for it again. We'll
Come and
probably
hear
put
us
the new
play.
version on the next album.
Come hear us
That's right.
play. And
Oh,
then
there you come
when
hear us live. That's
Come
the
and hear
best
us
way.
play at a show or something.
Our
in
CD
Calgary.
release party, yeah.
And you'll hear the new version
Mhm.
with the new lead singer, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
You have to
So-
hear Christopher.
So good.
Yeah, that's the other thing. This CD was released. This CD was actually recorded about anywhere from a period of about 9 months to 6 months ago. A little bit more was done after that, and a lot of these songs are a year or two old. So this is stuff that we just had, and then we said we need to record and put down. But in that time, Mike's joined the band. In that time, we've had a new lead singer who's not on this album, but he probably will be on our next album.
And he'll be basically singing at all the shows and whatnot coming up too. So
And also, Whitesea kind of came in and out of the band a lot
Yeah.
of the time.
Oh
so-
yeah.
But thank goodness for her vocal talents on End of the Day, at any rate.
for sure.
A band is just a dynamic, living, breathing thing. Yeah, what you hear on albums is just a part of it.
So then brings us to the final track, Bluer Than Punk. Also the last one, improv one we recorded at Alchemy too, actually.
Yeah, this was one I remember where we were sitting there and we were like, you know what, we should probably do another track or two or something like that. And so we were looking around for suggestions. What we do at our shows sometimes is we ask for a style or whatever of people of something to play. So we'd played, I think, 7 or 8 improv tracks by this time. And we were getting a little tired and a little
Running
uninspired.
dry.
And so Jeff just throws out, he goes, just play a punk song.
And that's when Mike and I looked at each other and said, why don't we just play something so fast that it'll just like literally destroy Adam's arms.
Yeah, I think the track started off just as a joke, just trying to make me just go fast, and I'm like, okay, I'll just put it down as fast as I can play.
And I think you can kind of hear the
I kept up.
change too. Adam did keep up, and I still think it was a little bit faster at the start, and then it kind of settled into a bit more of a steady
Of a
pace
reasonable tempo.
I agree.
near the middle, and kind of
Yeah, it went from rip your arms off fast
Yeah.
to just make your arms feel like they're going to be ripped off.
pretty
I
much.
guess somewhere in the middle of a solo that's bound to happen because I'm not so much responsible for the rhythm anymore at that point. I'm just trying to give you some interesting melody to listen to.
Yeah.
So then it's the bass and the drummer's responsibility to keep the rhythm.
Yeah, I've noted all these improv tracks, since they're improvised by their very nature, we didn't do a click track to any of them. In fact, even some of the other recorded ones, we didn't do a click track to. I believe
Most of them we probably did.
let's see, today's Creed and Ateo we did click tracks to, but a lot of these, basically what we were looking for on this album was something that sounded like we are live, and we don't play with a click track live. I like to kind of vary the tempo up a bit. I feel it's more important to stay in the groove than stay at a strict tempo. So I'll probably stay around the same place, but if I can bring it down just a little bit or move behind the beat to add some feeling or emotion to it, I'll do that. And if I need to jump ahead,
it's different.
oh, exactly. Every show is different. You play to the audience.
Yeah.
And of course, you're the audience on this, but we have no idea who you are. So this is really tough. It's really tough just to sit down in front of a mic and imagine that there's going to be thousands of people listening to it.
And watch the
But they're not
green
there.
bar on the computer screen go up and down and up and down.
Wow.
Anyways.
We hope you enjoyed our insights at any rate for all these songs, and hope it means something more to you than just three guys talking.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's time for us to give out some thanks to people that this wouldn't have happened without. I'd like to thank Whitesy. She did an amazing job on vocals. We mentioned her before. I'd like to thank Jeff from Alchemy. He did an amazing job. I'd like to thank all the fans we had, actually. The people that came out to our shows, even the little underpopulated shows where there was 2 people in the audience and we were playing and everyone was like, you need to get a bigger place and get more people out because you sound awesome. Thanks to the guys that just came off the street during our shows and we had to run down and here, look at the website. Oh, we should mention the website too, www.lttband.com. There'll be liner notes and extra stuff about this track, and there'll be unreleased sessions, and there's all sorts of stuff. So this is your reward for listening through us mumbling all this time. You get to go to the website and look at all the other stuff that people haven't seen. Of course, if you're listening to this album, you probably ordered it off the website. Anyways.
I think I'd like to thank, definitely we need to thank God, the 3 of us.
Oh, yeah.
Because none of this wouldn't have happened without his provision and his guidance and just everything about this whole situation and just even finding Christopher and just everything that's happened in the past year has been just so God-given to us. Like nothing would have happened without it. Need to thank all of our families too for being very supportive and
yes.
Just everybody, all the fans, all the people that we've talked to that have, everybody out there who's taken a business card from us and pretended to be interested and just everybody, I don't know, just all the fans and all of our families and brothers and sisters and just, everybody who's ever had a part or any sort of hand in helping us or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to thank Whitesy for singing on this one. first thing on the end of the day anyway. Thanks to Jeff for recording our improv sessions over at Alchemy. I'd like to thank Jen for helping us out at all our shows.
Yes. Jen is the ultimate roadie.
Right. Without her, it takes us twice as long to even set up in the first place, which is always the worst part, trying to get it set up and ready for the show. I would like to thank Randall for doing our photo shoot.
Yes, can't forget Randall.
And actually the many comments he gave us, which really inspired us to do the unrehearsed demos in the first place.
Yeah.
So I think those are the people I would like to thank.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who pushed and who said, when are you guys coming out with an album? When are you guys coming out with something? This is in large part due to you, because we were just going, oh, we want to wait until it's perfect, not quite there yet. And you were going, but you sound so good, we want an album, please.
We have to hear you.
Yes, we have to hear you. Yeah.
Well, you heard us live. It's not good enough.
So if you're a booking agent listening to this, you get to know some of the personality of the band as well, and we're not always as crazy. Sometimes we're crazier. Most of the
typically,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, typically. Let's see. Gear. I don't know, maybe these people are curious to hear kind of what we used to create those unique sounds and everything. How about you, Mike? Why don't you start? What do you play?
Gear was a big thing. I'll just start by saying this year that was the biggest stretch, I think, for us financially this year, was just saying as a band, like, okay, we need to buy better gear and we need to actually go out and do this, because if we don't, we won't get as noticed, we won't be sounding as good as what we want to sound and stuff. And so that was kind of the biggest stretch for me personally, just going out and spending like $2,000 on an amp and just new guitars and just stuff. It was one of those things that needed to be done though. So basically, I guess I'm right now playing through an Ampeg 610 cabinet with a B2R head rack mount, and I use a Fender Squier P bass as well as an OLP Ernie Ball bass, and so yeah.
Yeah, I have to be honest with you. I didn't exactly get the tone I wanted on this album, and I guess that's just something you continue to pursue and try to find your own voice. On this album, sounds really, really trebly, at least on the ones we did in the Plaid Studio, and that's due to the VS100 Val State Marshall head that I have. Also the 412A cab. I think it's the MG 412A Marshall cab. Also in Alchemy we used triple rectifier, and I also used my PV 112 Transformer 112 amp to get kind of those phasing sounds on Today's Creed for the solo, and a few other parts. If you listen really closely, the effect isn't huge on it, but you can probably still hear it. So it might be more to my bad ear for EQing the amps, but yeah, I didn't exactly get the tone I wanted. I think some of the high points though are Today's Creed and Grand Prix.
Well, I used for drums actually. I went out and made one of the best purchase decisions of my life, I think, and I bought myself a Tay kit. It's not the Recording Custom. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's just below the very top end. I think it's called the I forget the name of the actual series. Maple and basswood shells, though. No, sorry, birch and basswood. Sorry, yeah, birch and basswood shells. So you get a lot of attack, and then you get that really low resonance. I don't really care too much about the middle stuff, so I sacrifice a little bit of kind of the resonance for that deep warmth and for that harsh attack. So I play a 5-piece kit with 14x6 snare, pretty deep wood snare, and then toms are 10, 12, 14, and 16-inch toms. I also play on a lot of these tracks. You'll hear my piccolo snare, which is Yamaha Dave Garibaldi signature snare. I play with the Yamaha double pedal, which you'll hear occasionally. And I play an assortment of Sabian and Zildjian cymbals. Most of them are Sabian AA or AAX, including some Sabian AA Fusion hats. And my lovely Zildjian K Constantinople Ride, 20-inch. The other big thing for drums is microphones that changes your sound, or actually gets the authentic sound a lot better. And of course, you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on microphones. At Plaid Studios, we didn't have a huge amount of money to spend on microphones, but we used a company called CAD. They have a microphone pack specifically designed for percussion instruments, and we used those to mic the drums. And I think they sounded pretty good. The main thing in Plaid Studios that was really nice was we went through 2 preamps. We went through some Art TPS2 preamps, which really warmed stuff up. That really gave a nice warmth to the bass, and it also got rid of some harshness on the cymbals. Cymbals through a tube preamp just have to be heard to be believed. They sound like cymbals instead of trash cans, which is always nice. And then we went, the studio itself uses Yorkville, I think they're YSM 100s, active studio monitors. And right now we're running Tractian on a Macintosh platform, Mackie Tractian. And got, of course, the usual studio gear, some effect processors and some this and that that have been mentioned, and they've been used in some tracks in little places. I think the main, then at Alchemy, Jeff runs some separate equipment, and he had some different mics for stuff, a variety of condensers and dynamic mics, different miking techniques, different room. So you'll notice the one thing is that that the drums sound a fair bit different from the Plaid Studio tracks and from the Alchemy tracks. Just
Sure.
the character of the drums is a lot different. In Alchemy, we also had the luxury of working with a lot more compressors. We had the luxury of compressors on every track in Alchemy, rather than compressors on, well, 2 tracks that we had in Plaid Studios, and even then it was compression after the mix in Plaid Studios. That's pretty much everything about our gear. If you really want to know any of the stuff, how did you do that effect, what did you do that, what G string does Andrew play with?
Oh no.
You could
Get
just
your
go
mind out and get a
online,
mic.
go to our website, lttband.com. You can find it there.
Yeah.
I should, before I take off here, I should thank also Music Man Ernie Ball
Oh yes.
for creating such a great guitar. That's what I used exclusively on this album, the Music Man Ernie Ball Axis. And yeah, just got to thank the guys in the band here too for all the work they put into this. So I'm on my way out.
All right. Well, Dave's heading out. He's got to go make a living, man. It's tough being in a band, making a living. Yeah. So I guess Mike and I will sign off here.
Signing off.
Signing off.
Mike and Adam signing
Signing
off.
off.